Temagami had been on our radar for years. A huge wilderness area in northern Ontario, it's known for its remote lakes, old-growth forests, and rugged backcountry. Last fall, we finally made the trip with two friends. Together, the four of us set out on an 84-kilometer route with two ultralight swift canoes, winding our way through quiet lakes, low water, questionable portages, and a few unexpected challenges along the way. We came looking for adventure, and Temagami definitely delivered. Before we left, the outfitters warned us about some horrendous portages in this section of the route. We heard that Temagami can be a bit of a Wild West when it comes to portages, so we were expecting the absolute worst. Instead, we found a few low water sections, some blowdowns, deep holes in the trail, and a couple muddy spots that swelled me up to my knees, but overall the portages were much better than we anticipated. The biggest challenge wasn't actually the portages themselves. It was figuring out where they started and where they went. Over the years, people had tied red tape to trees to mark different routes through the forest. Since many of these portages crossed Crown land, there wasn't always a single official trail. Sometimes there were multiple paths, all marked with the same red tape, and we find ourselves deep in the woods carrying the canoe down steep hills, weaving through tight trees with barely a trail, wondering if we'd taken the right turn. On one of those portages, we also managed to walk over a hidden hornet's nest. All of us girls got stung, while Shea somehow escaped completely unscathed. But nature would come for him soon enough. We ended up spending much longer on the portages than we expected, and quickly fell behind where we hoped to be for the day. Around 6 p.m., we decided to just call it and camp on Sugar Lake. Honestly, it turned out to be a great decision. The campsite was beautiful with incredible views across the lake.
The blind eating the blind.
We stopped for lunch at Lady Evelyn Falls, which was more of a trickle this time of year with the lower water levels.
Get away from my bars!
Pushes her in the water.
It was also the first time we ran into another group of people on the trip. Even with the cottages on Lady Evelyn Lake, the route so far had still felt like the remote Temagami wilderness we came looking for. You might be wondering what happened here. When we arrived at Bob Lake, I hopped out to unload our bags when the bow of the canoe caught on a rock and suddenly flipped with Shea still inside. His fishing rod sank to the bottom, but luckily he was able to recover it. The only real casualty was Shea getting completely soaked and having to dry out his clothes and boots. We decided to spend 2 nights on Bob Lake and slow things down a little bit. It was a great campsite to spend the extra night. We took a day trip out to Spirit Rock, paddling across the water before hiking up to the lookout for a great view of the surrounding area.